very round. His glasses on. Thomas, you need to go to bed. No one listens to me. They don't. 4 children. 3 in bed, 2 asleep. 1 on the Xbox, but he has a fever. 103.7. I have a headache. I'm like worried that I'm getting it. Hello, Melissa. Yeah, some bad fever virus. Today's what, Tuesday? Oh my God, I thought it was Monday all day. It's Tuesday, right? So he came down with the fever on Monday. Means he can't go to school tomorrow. That's Wednesday. Thank goodness the tests are next week. Lord help us if we have to do those again. Janie, I'm so glad you came to Edenton. I wish I'd seen you. Not only does Thomas have a fever, Amos threw up, but he's not sick. He really is totally fine. He threw up once. It might be the fact that he had, hi Stephanie, Doritos and ice cream and swam in the pool. And he drinks an ass load of pool water because it's Amos. That's fine. I want a cease and desist shirt. Have you ordered one yet, Melissa? So if you're a supporter, you get to order t-shirts like this. See? Can you see it? Cease and desist. I haven't gotten a cease and desist letter in a while. Sort of dull around here. Been minding my own business. My alleged attorney doesn't want me to get sued by anybody else. 1 lawsuit is enough for this family currently. 3 days, 105 fever. Yes, I mean, really. I thought he was doing better. These are the softest t-shirts. I get them from this t-shirt company in Edenton. I've already got 2 others. I know. I mean, I love them. I have like a lot, but they're all I wear. Shocker. So anyway, only 1 person's sick. I've done a lot of laundry. Currently, I'm not folding the laundry. I'm just doing the laundry and throwing it on the floor of my bedroom where Amos has been wallowing in it. Yes, that's right. Kendall loves her shirts. Look at all these people loving their t-shirts. I know, and we have some new ones coming out. The samples are ready. So for my supporters, Mary's going to go pick them up tomorrow, so we will go over it. Dorothy, you need this live. You've got to become a supporter. You get a live video like every day. So fun. Normally it's with my children. Saturday, wait, what day did we do? Oh, Monday morning, yesterday morning, we did a live, my son Thomas and I, regarding on Fortnite. And Sassy Britches. Sassy Britches on Fortnite. Okay, y'all. Did you see the post I put up a little while ago? So we got this box in the mail today, and it was to Amos, so I didn't open it. So I get this note. So when I write a story, I just want you to know I'm always very truthful. This note in purple script, and it says, "Dear Amos, we hope you like Knuffle Bunny as much as we did. Love, Davis and Lincoln." I just took Knuffle Bunny from Amos. He was asleep with him in the bed. I have no idea what this is about, but it's funny as hell. It's funny as hell. Life in my house is funny as hell. No, I did not find the Sharpie. That was the other thing, was that yesterday I found a Sharpie top. And I have not found the Sharpie. I mean, that's dangerous. Not that my whole house isn't totally wrecked. I mean, this piece of furniture right here. Wait, I don't know if you can see it. It's kind of dark. Do you see right there? That's purple Sharpie. Yep. Blair did that when she was about 3. She got a hold of a purple marker and basically annihilated the whole house. But you know what? That's good then. I didn't have to worry about it anymore. Go ahead and ruin everything. And then someday I'll have new stuff. But not now. Not now. So I wrote this post earlier, and this is really why I was going to do a live video, though probably a lot of y'all are like, oh shit, I don't care. But about testing, North Carolina testing. What else I get in the mail? Oh, a Chaza hot sauce. If anybody is on my Optavia diet, I'm not supposed to say diet, health plan, you can have this, according to me. It has no sugar, and it has 1 carb, and it's so good. Yes, it is. Now, testing. So what I was hoping is that people would ask me questions if they had questions over testing, because every day, the last probably 3 weeks, I bet I've gotten about 80 questions total, but I got like 7 today. And I was like, you know what? We're going to do a little testing video. So if anybody has any questions about what is allowed and what is not allowed, now it doesn't mean you have to be in North Carolina, because federal law is federal law all over the country. So I know federal law pretty damn well, and I know North Carolina law even better. I had this test coordinator last year, and I loved him. He's not there anymore. And he told me, he said, we've been told that if you call, we're not supposed to talk to you. They're supposed to make me talk to Drew Elliott. What grade did they start EOGs in North Carolina? 3rd grade. 3rd grade. So my daughter Blair has her first EOGs this year. Russell and Thomas start on Friday, and then Blair has a reading in math, I think next week. Our roaming proctor is allowed to have a mini bottle. I doubt it. But this is the first year that you do not have to have proctors, which I think is sort of exciting. I will give Mark Johnson credit for one teeny weeny thing, is no proctors. Though, on the other hand, I'm also worried about schools that I don't trust, not schools in my area. But there are a couple schools out there, one in Wilmington, that I'm worried, what if someone cheats? Is math and reading for 3rd grade or another subject? So the 3rd graders take math and they take reading, but the read to achieve is 3rd grade. Is it true it doesn't determine passing? Yes, it does not determine passing. Your child cannot be held back based on one test score. Absolutely true. They would have to look at lots of different things, how they've done on benchmarks throughout the year, EVOS, portfolio, because some kids, say you have special needs, you might never pass. Were you going to stay in 1st grade forever? No. So do not let anybody tell you that. Retesting for Extend 1 students. Oh, Lori. I probably wouldn't do it, personally. Extend 1 is what our kids with special needs take, right, Lori? I mean, does everybody, I don't know how they just decide who's taking it and who's not. Is it true that no one in North Carolina will get their math results until fall? Schools have not been I heard it was going to be October, but I need to really look into that. Not all schools do benchmarks or portfolios, but Jessica, they have to come up with something other than a test score if they want to hold your child back because they did not do well on the EOGs. They have to. And I can't imagine a school that doesn't do benchmarks, truthfully. Math scores may not be back until February, Mickey said. There should never be a retest for Extend 1. Oh, well, that's good. See, y'all know more than I do. Yep, they're saying math October. So, oh shit, y'all are asking me so many questions now, I've forgotten what I was about to say. We got a message from central office today. They would be received in August. So, if you do not pass your EOGs, your school likely has summer school. That is optional. No child can be forced to go to summer school. I'm not saying summer school is bad. I just like accuracy. You cannot be forced to go to summer school. Now, what if they say to you, you failed the EOGs. If you go to summer school, you get to go to the next grade. You have to say, what other criteria are you using for judging? Do you believe in retesting if a child does not pass? I see why schools want families to retest, because the scores matter so much. I mean, they don't matter like in real life, but they do matter according to how the General Assembly has it currently. Remember, it's 80% score and 20% growth. So if you live in Chapel Hill and you got a bunch of people that start with A's, they're going to do well no matter what. But then you have a place in my community where we start so much lower. So even if we grow a ton, we start at a D and we get to a B. So we've grown from a D to a B, and Chapel Hill grows from an A- to an A. They've grown this much and we've grown this much. They get a higher score than we do. They get an A and we get a B. So I don't think it's necessarily fair how it's going. But I get why schools want to be retested. The scores matter for the school proficiency and growth. That is why schools are retesting. Yes, because it matters on a big scale of things. So you have a family, like we have a hospital, and we have some doctors that are going to move in to Edenton, and they will say, what letter grade did your school get? And we can say a B. And they say, well, B's pretty good. That's what they got in Dare County. That's what they got over here, whatever. But a D might deter people from moving to small towns. So I do get that it's a game that right now our schools are being forced to play. So I don't think just skipping out on the test and walking away is helpful for anybody, just because I think you need to be an advocate and help and make phone calls. I'll put the phone number up. I put it up of David Bryant. I'm sure he's going to hate me by tomorrow. But he's the parent liaison for testing in North Carolina. He's very nice, and you can ask him any question you want, and then he'll redirect you to the regional test coordinator, who I don't know. I think they've kept those names secret from me because they're tired of me calling them. Because last year I had to call the ones in Wilmington. I had to call one in Charlotte, because Charlotte had taken pictures of students. The photographer told me this, of the kids that got 5s, and they were going to put the photos up all around the school. Are they crazy? FERPA, Family Right to Privacy Act. How do you feel about all EGs being online instead of paper and pencil? Lori, are they all online? I thought that was optional. If that's true, then I'm clueless. Because my son Thomas needs paper and pencil because he doesn't have to mark in book. He has a 504 because he has dyslexia. Any of our students who retest will do so on the computer. So anyway, we need to find out about that. Now y'all are giving me ideas for things I need to call about tomorrow, since I'll be home with somebody having a fever. But tomorrow we're going to watch War Games. Today we watched Girls Just Want to Have Fun. So good. Should I make a big deal of this at home? No. No, 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 no. Do not make a big deal out of it at home. If anything, I tell my children that it is the dumbest thing on the planet, and that it's our General Assembly that's making it a big deal. There's a lot of pressure on the schools. Teachers get paid based on the scores. Teachers don't even like that. I mean, it is annoying. Adrian said all online or school told Mark and Book won't apply. I'm going to have to find out about that. See, I need to find out. I'm so busy talking to y'all, not up to date on what's happening at my own children's schools. But truthfully, I get so annoyed with the thing that I can't even ask questions at school because I just end up pissed. I did ask Russell tonight because I heard at school, I said, Russell, have you heard anything about EOGs or whatever? And he was like, no. Our principal said that if you did the best you could, you got to go to the EOG celebration. So that was very good to hear, according to Russell. And Thomas isn't about to tell me a thing because he doesn't want me to call out there. Mark in book is done on the computer. The students can highlight and change the background too. Amanda, that's interesting. I think that'd be kind of hard though. I mean, what do I know? I'm a teacher and was told my students today their homework was to go home and do something fun and get some sleep. So I did a great, I say it's great because I didn't actually write it, teacher letter about what the kids were supposed to do over the weekend. I just thought it was really neat about doing all this kind of 5 fun stuff. Can we request a paper test? I don't know. Can we? Where's our test coordinator? You need to answer that. Hey, Amanda, I miss you. So I was at the pool like 2 days ago with my friend, and she has 1 child in private school and 2 in public school. And she was talking about the difference that her child has had this year, because we have a small private school near us. And she was like, made this point that I hadn't really thought about. She was like, they're spending no time on testing or test prep or talking about testing. And she was like, how much time is being used to get ready for the test? And I'll tell you, teachers will tell you way too much. And it's like, do people realize, well, it really made me think, like, wow, my glasses are so dirty. What do I want my children doing? I don't want them doing that. I don't want them doing that. So then I thought, well, why does the General Assembly do that? And then there's this part of me that I've become sort of a conspiracy theorist with the General Assembly. Maybe they're trying to get people to leave public school and go to private. They keep upping the opportunity vouchers. You have a child, right now, if you had a child with special needs and we qualified for low income, which we would not, we could get $18,000 a year for Amos to go to school. Well, the district only gets about 10 for Amos. So if I choose to put Amos in a private school, I get $9,000 more. And then what they say is, oh, look how much money you've saved the state. So our current government police, they want people leaving public schools. So I feel like they're not very invested in doing it differently. Charter schools, not all charter schools, but one charter school. There's one in Wilmington. And they had the lowest growth in the entire state last year and only served 5% children from impoverished homes. Now that's when a test score is helpful. If you serve such a small amount of kids from poverty and you have the lowest growth in the state, I don't know what the hell's going on in there, but it ain't teaching. We got a letter that came out from Raleigh with their online testing updates. Oh, we went to... Oh, Cody's talking about Richmond. Will he get the services in private school that he would in public? No. And Amos couldn't even go to our private school. They would be like, no, thank you. He's too much work. So no, and you have to relinquish your IEP if you do that. So no, but it's just the point that that the higher ups want you out of the school system because it's cheaper. Even if your child has an IEP with a paper test combination, you are not guaranteed that option. Of the 4 EOGs, only one will be a paper and pencil option. Our child has to take the rest online. Courtney, I think that couldn't be true because if you were blind, you couldn't take it online, could you? We'll have to call David Bryant. Cody asked me about homeschooling. Cody, I ain't homeschooling. I can't even make people brush their teeth. I think homeschooling is awesome. I really do. The families I know that homeschool are incredible. Truly. I don't like my children that much. I love them, but I don't like them that much. I don't. And they don't listen to me. Now blind students can get the test in Braille. Amos needs friends, for one thing. The online reads aloud too if needed. Wake County is difficult. Gina said all our EOGTs are paper pencil. The online reads aloud to the students. Okay, now you've got a headache talking all this testing. Let's see what else. You cannot make someone go to summer school. So just in case somebody's told you have to go to summer school, you do not have to go to summer school. You do not have to take the retest. What else do you not have to do? And actually, so North Carolina does not have an opt-out option. So you'll hear people, they always write on my post, well, opt out. So New York, you can opt out very easily. North Carolina does not have an opt-out. Now, according to somebody that works in the governor's office, who the governor told me to talk to, maybe his wife's like assistant or was, she said what she does with her children is they don't go to school on testing days, so they have to stay home, and then they go to school on retest days and they sign their name, and that's it. And then that goes toward the requirement 95% of students have to take the OGs or it can affect funding. Though no North Carolina county has ever lost funding because they didn't have enough kids taking the EOGs. So will Amos at some point have EOGs once in third grade? I know you said some special needs are tested. Explain the difference in ESY and summer school. Wait, what's ESY? End of school year? Okay. So Amos, the federal government says it used to be 2% and now it's 1%. Only 1% of children are exempt from testing. So it doesn't matter how many have disabilities, only 1%, and that's a federal law. Extended school year. I don't know. I don't know anything about extended school year. Clearly, I'm like count on leaving June 13th. Y'all better tell me what it is. Y'all might know more than me. That would be a surprise. But, oh shoot. Now what was I saying? Extended. Oh. Amos, we do not have extended school year in my school district. Now, I know some do. Like I think in Chapel Hill, a friend of mine's daughter goes for like a month or something. So they say we have it, but we don't really, or at least I don't think. You don't actually go anywhere. They have teachers that will come to your house like once a week. So that's not, extended school year to me is like in Miami. If we lived in Miami, Amos would go to school year round all the time. You have an option for end of school year. Well, you only have an option for end of school year if your district offers extended school year. We don't have that as an option. So no. But Amos does this Trillium camp through Trillium, funded through Trillium. And Logan Astor, who is a teacher, a special ed teacher, is his counselor. So he'll be with her. He'll go three days a week this year, not 5. He went 5 days last summer. He's going 3 because we're going to try to get him to learn to swim, and we're going to work on some school stuff too. So anyway, yeah, the Trillium summer camp through Trillium, they're all over Eastern North Carolina. You can apply, and they go to the pool twice a week. They go to the pool Tuesday, Thursdays, and then Wednesday they go on a field trip. And he loved it and did so well anyway. And now he's potty trained, so that's going to be really nice, particularly for Logan. And extended school year is based on needs, and it is an option. If the IEP team makes the determination, they have to offer it. But Nicolette, I just know, I guess they do have extents, but it can be offered in a variety of ways. So for where we live, extended school year is not you actually going to school. It is a teacher coming to your house once a week. So that's what they call it. But I don't really consider that extended school year. But that's just me. And I would have to think that around where I live that it's a rarity because these camps fill out so quickly for kids like Amos. So anyway, based on students' needs. I mean, I know that there is no school building open here in the summer for children. Now this summer they're doing some sort of summer camp, but I think it's more academic because Amos's teacher is working there. Homebound instruction. No, it's just in the summer that they do that. So in our county, we don't have transitional kindergarten. We have kindergarten and we have pre-kindergarten. Now, depending on, you get an allotment from the state for teachers. So maybe every 18 kids, you get one teacher funded through the state. So if you have 52 kids, you get 4 teachers. If we have 54 kids, we'll get 5 teachers. Right now we're waiting. We get our allotment in July, and depending on the number of children that sign up for kindergarten, that will determine the kind of class that Amos has next year. If we get an extra teacher, then they can have one small class, transitional kindergarten, for kids, an inclusive classroom, but have kids with special needs too. The summer program you were discussing, would that work for anyone with a 504 has Tourette's? I doubt he would qualify. Truthfully, I think you have to be really, really needy. Really needy. Nash Rocky Mountain School have the Summer Reading Academy. And I guess some kids do need it, but and if you didn't have much else going on, I guess you would go and get lunch and study a little bit, maybe read, play. Children have to be invited by their district. I think my point is just to say that you don't have to go if you don't want to. But I think there could be a lot worse ways to spend a summer, particularly for kids that don't have access to lots of other fun things like me and Knuffle Money. We have summer school in Berkeley County. But Candace, there might be other options. There might be other options. What else? So, yeah, I think just a lot of times schools don't know the rules, and I don't know why. But if somebody says to you, you get to pie a teacher in the face because you got a 5 on the EOG, you can't do that. And the reason that is, and I'm not trying to raise a bunch of wussies, but I'm just saying this is because that calls attention to certain students, which violates their right to privacy. So you have all these kids over here, and they don't get to pie anybody in the face because they're dumb. That's how they feel. So anything that separates kids, you cannot do. So what they did at our school a few years ago was if you grew a certain number of points, you were going to get to go to an ice cream party. Again, can't do that. So our principal changed it, and now they have a celebration, and if you try your hardest, you get to participate in the EOG celebration. Totally allowed. Subjective, but totally allowed. Because it's not calling out anyone. So that's good. They don't know the rules, and then they're mad when you try to explain it to them. Well, people in positions like that don't like to have anybody tell them anything, I don't think. But I think some people really, I get a lot of questions from parents at schools that aren't pissed. They just want to know. Another big thing is at the awards day that kids get medals because they made a 5 on the EOG. You cannot do that. So if your school has done those types of things, or you heard that they're going to do that type of thing, go ahead and call the principal and just say, hey, I realize this is against the law. It's FERPA. Just want to talk to you about that and see what you can come up with as an alternative. I kept my kid home once. They were doing a growth ice cream dance party. Yes. We have an EOG pep rally before. The EOG pep rally makes me feel ill. Pizza parties for making their MAP goals. I don't know. See, that's why you need to call David Bryant. Go on my post and see. I put his phone number up there. Because that could be, there are several gray areas. Last year, or 2 years ago in Tarboro, the kids would get to go to King's Dominion that got a 4 or 5. Hello. But so, yeah, I guess I think about, well, what about the kids that really tried hard, but they're never going to get a 4 or 5? Anyway. I don't know what Amos will do with those tests. Lord knows the idea of Amos taking an online test is funny as hell to me. But he can read and he has good comprehension. I would never torture him though. I think there's a lot of misinformation. It's like a game of telephone. It starts out with the right information and trickles down to strange thing. Yes, true. Sometimes children give you information and it's not exactly accurate. So it's always good to ask. Always good to ask. Because no reason to get a rumor mill. I hate they ask kids to retake if they got a 2 or 3. Our pep rally had a funny inspirational videos made by the teachers and then games to help the kids de-stress and have fun. Well, now, Robin, that does sound nice. But again, if you're having a pep rally, you're saying to the kids, this is so important. We have to have a pep rally. That's the part I don't get. So if I want my kids to be really healthy, right, and I'm going to offer good food in the house, if I have a pep rally, to me, it's just you're putting so much importance on the activity. So I guess it's best for me to be like totally blasé about the whole thing. And encourage my kids that it doesn't matter. Now, one thing our schools have done, and I am going to make a call about this, is that the kids get their grades at school. And I hate that. The scores are 1 through 5. That's right, Debbie. Now, my children have always done great on the OGs. So nobody can say that I'm like in this for myself. What about the kids that don't? Like every year I hear about people crying. Again, kids should not get those scores at school. I think they should come home in a sealed envelope. Or hell, if everything's online, why not email the score to parents? And then I could say to my child, you know what? I'm not even going to tell you your score because it doesn't matter. Or if I want to, I can. But it should not be handed out at school amongst your peers when you know damn well they're a bunch of 9-year-olds saying, what'd you get? What'd you get? What'd you get? Because that's what children do. Anyway. I just don't like that. For 3rd grade, a 3 is only a range from a 439 to a 441, too narrow. Kelly, that's probably why I can't imagine. I never say never. I do say never, but rarely. I can't imagine ever agreeing to have my children take retest. Unless they puked during it. I just can't imagine doing that. Yeah. So back in the day, we took the CAT test. I was so excited about the CAT test. You got new pencils that were sharp. And my mom actually made eggs because all the other days we would eat cereal for breakfast, which is exactly what I do to my children. So I thought that was fun. Yeah, Nicolette said they get on the bus and it's a mess. Yes, you don't need to get on the bus and have people emotional. They've been wasting weeks and weeks and weeks on prep. Some schools and homeschoolers still do the CAT test. I love the CAT test. Of course, the CAT test said I was like a genius. And then I couldn't break 1,000 on the SAT, so I don't know how accurate it is. Those babies are precious. Kids with special needs taking tests. I wrote a post about it last year. And it didn't do well. Sometimes, not that matters. It really doesn't. Sometimes when you write a post, if it's really something hard to read, people don't want to read it. And I shared perspectives of teachers and proctors and parents talking about what it was like to test kids with special needs. I had teachers tell me, well, we put M&Ms on the answers on the paper so they could they have to pick. And if they get it wrong, they have 2 more chances. I mean, it's just torture for kids that can't read or write or speak. They all have to take the test for their grade level. I'll put it back up again. Just because I think it's enlightening. It's stuff that I didn't know. It's heartbreaking. Yeah, it is. And early on with Amos, because who knows how he's going to be. I mean, he can't sit and listen to anything for 2 minutes. I'm just not going to torture anybody. And, well, I say that. I have tortured my kids. I wrote several posts, and I'm always hesitant to put them up now. But, like, when Russell was in the 3rd grade, he came home and cried and was like, if I fail, I'm not gonna pass. I won't go to 4th grade. And I don't think anybody necessarily told him that, but I think there was a tremendous amount of pressure with his teacher, who's no longer there. I think there was a lot of pressure. And pressure self-induced just from the whole arena. So you have pep rallies and you have talking and blah, 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 blah. I mean, that just feels heavy. If all anybody talked about in this house was being thin and be thin, well, then it makes me feel like, I gotta be thin. You know, even if they're not telling me to be thin. Anyway. As I drink my water. Headache. So that's that. Feel free to ask me a question. Also, David Bryant at DPI is a wonderful person to talk to. And yeah, talk to your kids. I mean, just say, you know what? This test, I have a really good post, and I'm going to put it up tomorrow night, about when we always do this in our house, we make a cake, and we talk about how you make a cake, and it has lots of ingredients, and I compare it to testing. You know, this is one day of you, and this test is one tiny ingredient in a cake, and you're the cake. You're amazing, and all these ingredients. Anyway, it's not that big of a deal. It's something fun, and they look forward to doing it. And we couldn't do it today since Thomas is sick, so maybe it'll be Thursday. But yeah, just try to not make a big deal out of it. Last year, Thomas said, you know, can I get beats if I do really good on the test? And I was like, damn it, I'm going to get you beats because you worked hard. I don't care what grade you get. Teachers don't care. I don't care. The only people that care are the people that truly aren't that invested anyway. Anyway, but yeah, I'll put the test cake up. Beats, those expensive headphones. Silly. Okay, maybe we need to make a t-shirt that's like EOG. What could we say something snarky about EOGs? I'll have to think about it. Supporters, I'll see you in the morning. We'll have a t-shirt preview. My parents cared more about teacher comments. Yes. Well, mine did too. The comments weren't that good. You know, when I was in the 3rd grade, we didn't take EOGs, but I did get put into a trash can filled with trash. Yes, I did. You know what my parents said? You probably deserved it. Oh, shit. When your children are out of school, will you still advocate like you do now? I hope I won't have to, Kim. I hope we'll be done by then. But yeah, you know, if my son Thomas goes off to school in 9th grade, I was thinking, I'm still invested in public school. I mean, I never went to public school, but I loved public school before my children started there. But yeah, I will advocate. But I'm hoping that we're really going to actually make some progress, which is why I'm supporting Jen Magrum for North Carolina superintendent. If you make an EOG t-shirt, I'll join the supporter group. How are you going to know I make one if you don't join? Courtney, $5 a month. Best $5 you'll ever spend. How else can you get access to my husband and his ridiculous thoughts? Yes, I will make one. I am more than a test score. Ooh, but it's got to be snarkier than that, Lisa. Supporters, let's come up with a new one. Catch 22. Vote out Marky Mark. Yes, we're going to vote for Jen Magrum. I'm going to be there next week in Wilmington. June the 6th. Clyde Edgerton, probably my favorite author of all times, is playing music. and Jen Mangrum is going to speak. His tickets are $50, and if you're a teacher, they are free. So I'm going to share that event too on my Facebook page. So if y'all are near Wilmington, I hope I get to see you. And then I'll be in Charleston. I'm doing a some kind of conference. So I'm going to do a supporter meeting in Charleston. And then we have one at the beach this summer, Atlantic Beach. All of my excitement. Ellen, I can't wait to see you. All my supporters are going to wear all their t-shirts. We're going to go to dinner at Denny's, my friend Vivian's restaurant. Carry on, people.